Ah, alright. I remember Creamy used the air fryer for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I've never used it.
Fuck is that music coming from? All right, back to watching this.
Then you have another guy here making all kinds of insults toward the United States, calling us evil American regime, and saying that you gotta pay the toll to get through their strait. So maybe on a best case scenario, maybe there's multiple different Iranian officials on different pages, I guess. But to me, it sounds like they're all on the same page, and this guy simply putting it as vile as he wants to put it. And this is actually how it is. They're actually forcing everybody to pay the toll still, from the sounds of it. So not good. But moving into our next post here, this one's going to go to Clash Report. And can you believe it? They put another condition on the Strait of Hormuz passage. They say that the Iranian military officials say military vessels are not allowed to pass through the Strait of Hormuz, according to Iranian state TV. So not only do you have to pass through the coordinated toll booth, you have to pay the toll, but now you also can't send military vessels through the Strait of Hormuz as well. So by definition, this is still closed. If you can't bring any ship you want through there, like we did before the war, then it's still closed. So that's what we're hearing right there. And moving into our next one, we have even another condition right here. We're hearing as well from another Iranian official to another state news network that if the maritime blockade continues that the U.S. is currently conducting, it will be considered a violation of the ceasefire, and the Strait of Hormuz transit route will be closed completely. So now the Iranians are even threatening to close the toll booth itself and not let the ships even pay the $2 million toll going through the strait. So obviously not good. Not really much to say about that, except for I think the U.S. is getting a little bit too far ahead by claiming victory about the situation, because obviously it appears to be there are several loose ends that are not tied up according to what we're seeing right here. And also on top of that, the U.S. is continuing their blockade. So, I mean, even if Iran technically opened the Strait of Hormuz and they actually completely opened it, the U.S. is blocking ships from getting out. So, I mean, the U.S. is essentially causing their own problem at this point, even if Iran opened it, which they truthfully haven't if you look at all the different posts here. But moving into our next one, this one goes to open source intel. And right here, it looks like CENTCOM has posted another video showing footage of the sailors aboard the USS Rafael Peralta directing a merchant vessel back to Iranian port during the blockade on April the 17th, which is today. So let's take a quick look right here. It's apparently some of the blockade operations, and it looks like it's filmed right from the deck of this U.S. vessel that we're seeing right here. So let's take a look at the video.
This is U.S. Navy Warship 115. Request you return to original port of call in Iran. How copy? Over.
Copy, sir. Thank you very much. Copy, sir. Me alter to Iran. Thank you.
Blue Sky 4, this is U.S. Warship 115. I understand you will return to your previous port of call in Iran. This is U.S. Warship 115, standing by on channel 16. Out.
So as you can see right there, that's some of the blockade operations. They're currently turning back some of the Iranian ships that you could hear there in the announcement. So once again, just showing you some of the behind the scenes footage of what's happening right now on the Strait of Hormuz. But moving on to our next post here, we do have one from Preston Stewart, and we're also hearing another wild claim that's being reported right now by some mainstream media outlets that they're claiming that the U.S. officials are considering releasing $20 billion in Iranian funds in exchange for their enriched uranium, and they note that it's unclear if the agreement addresses the Iranian missile program or their proxy forces. So just to make this clear, the U.S. has denied this report right here, but they're claiming in the report that apparently, or at least allegedly, that the U.S. officials at least discussed with the Iranian officials releasing $20 billion in cash for the uranium that Iran currently has hidden somewhere under the ground in their territory. So we don't know if this is true. That's the report right here they're claiming is true, but we don't simply know that. So that's what the mainstream is claiming, but once again, we'll have to wait and see if that turns out to be true. But moving into our next post here, we do have one from Jackie Heinrich, and this is the post right here pretty much denying that mainstream media report by the U.S. officials that they discussed anything about exchanging money for the nuclear dust. So let's take a look. And right here, the president said the USA will get back all the nuclear dust created by the great B-2 bombers, and no money will exchange hands in any way, shape, or form, and this deal is in no way subject to Lebanon either, but the USA will separately work with Lebanon and deal with the proxy situation in an appropriate manner, and Israel will not be bombing Lebanon in any way any longer, and they are prohibited from doing so by the United States. Enough is enough. Thank you. So also, by the way, notice that there appears to be some frustration right here with Israel from the U.S. administration. So, I mean, they're saying enough is enough, and they're prohibiting Israel from taking action in Lebanon. So I detect some frustration there with that. But also, notice, though, he denies the idea that they're exchanging money for the uranium in the very first part of that post. So he's directly denying it. So it's up to you to decide whether or not who's telling the truth here, basically. Is it the mainstream media report that's telling the truth, or is it the U.S. officials that's telling the truth about this? But moving into our next one here, this one's going to go to Defense Index. And in the meantime, while there's a big kumbaya about alleged peace talks happening between Iran and the United States and the Strait of Hormuz apparently reopening, but it really hasn't at the same time, we're seeing that one of the largest U.S. military airlift has surged, apparently toward the Middle East as of this morning. The air traffic indicates a noticeable increase in long-range U.S. military transport activity toward the region. We've seen multiple C-17 Globemasters, C-5 Super Galaxies, and other cargo aircraft racing toward the Middle East. And this is a bit of a strange thing to happen in the midst of the U.S. claiming that there's a peace deal being made. It seems like they're preparing for war and also sending tons of more deployments toward the Middle East. So taking a look here, you can see in the picture, there is all these aircraft flooding into Europe and then flooding into the Middle East from America, which once again indicates that it seems like war is on the horizon and not peace. So that contradicts directly all the statements we're hearing out of the United States. So it's up to you to decide what is true in the midst of the sea of misinformation, because it's coming out of every corner. It's coming out of Iran, obviously. They lie about everything. But we're also seeing the U.S. engage in misinformation as well. So it's up to you to decide. But, I mean, obviously, a big deployments, that could indicate future war operations coming very soon. But moving into our next one here, we've also gotten a post from Unusual Whales, and we see here that Iran has also just said it will not accept any temporary ceasefire and will only accept a permanent end to all conflicts across the region. So there you go. Once again, Iran is putting more conditions on a peace because they truly don't want a peace. That's the reality of it. And the U.S. is trying to force a peace, but Iran's not really wanting it. And when they don't want it, they're usually going to find a way to pretty much bungle it up, which I think they're trying to do that right here. So that's what they're saying, and obviously not looking promising yet again. And, you know, we'll just have to see how this turns out. But also, we have one more post before we round the video out, and this one goes to ABC News. You know, this one is a little bit different than the rest of the news that we've been covering, but I want to report on this because it is something that's very notable that happened last night, in the dead of night, by the way. In the dead of night last night, the House of Representatives passed a bill to extend FISA 702, which basically legalizes mass surveillance, to at least April the 30th by unanimous consent at, get this, 2 o'clock in the morning last night. Let me know how that sounds. I mean, they showed up at basically past midnight in Congress to pass this FISA bill right here while Americans were sleeping. Seems a little bit strange to me. But apparently, though, they are extending it until April the 30th, and then they'll hold another vote on it, apparently so. So, you know, very controversial bill, by the way, as enabling surveillance of Americans, and it's got a lot of people in an uproar. And also, the fact they're sneaking around past midnight to get the stuff passed, that's certainly not a good look. So, I mean, y'all can decide what you want for that, but it's not looking very bright. But with that, folks, that is actually our last post of the video. So if you found the video informative, smack the like button and also subscribe to the channel as well to get notified of our daily video uploads and our daily nightly war news streams as well. And we appreciate all the kind comments down there in the comments section. And also, if you want to support our channel financially, you can do so on our Patreon page. And the link is in the description below for Patreon, where you can go over there and sign up for a monthly membership. And it could be as little as $5 or $10 a month. Any amount helps the channel tremendously, and we do appreciate the support very, very much. But in that case, though, we will see you all tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern on our next Nightly War News stream. And with that, bye-bye for now.
Danhausen. Oh, oh.
Holy crap. Them fucking tacos just hit me like a brick. My eyes are open wide. By the way, I made it through the day.
I watch the world outside.
Outside,
By the way, I'm leaving out today. I just saw Haley's comments you leave. Said why you always running place, even the man in the moon disappeared. Somewhere in the stratosphere.
only born today.
In the realm where champions clash, heroes rise from echoes and flash. With every move they shake their fate.
Someday I will buy dayz with good origin, sails to distant shores. Stand up high in the proud, noble bark I steer, steady course for the heathens. Too many foemen, too many foemen, too many foemen.
Tens of thousands on my right, thousands by my side. War between good and evil, watching our fists collide. Battle for our freedom now, to the streets we ride. Flags waving all around,
all
nations
those
full
who
of pride. This is what we make
do
a stand, no more give or take.
apologize,
March around the
having a little
capitals
bit
on the
of
city
difficulty
gates.
getting rolled
Putting
up,
pressure
so
on
we
their
get
necks until the truth breaks. All walls of corruption, take out all the snakes. Star Spangled Banner, got
That's-
it playing loud and proud.
Start the jam.
Extinction, ashes on your pale skin. Love becomes a symptom of the cure.
Initiate cyber hacks.
God damn it, I gotta restart everything.
Pull the sun from the sky to freeze the future of time and drift as one through the infinite. I found my silent inside your Armageddon eyes.
I'll be right back to everyone here.
Fatal diagnosis, ring around the roses, say goodbye. We broke it down to build it up, 'cause analog life's digital enough. Initiate the cyber hex, the only way to win is to reconnect. Stay alive, for the sun